It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back, folks, and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with John Tumino, co-founder of In My Father's Kitchen. Rich Lester stops by. He's the CEO of Z-Bart. And then attorney John Murphy, owner of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. We'll have a conversation with him. And finally, Grant Fletcher is the sales trainer and sales leader at Fleet Feet. So we've got a bunch of good stuff to talk about in this hour number 2.
Tom.
Yeah.
Didn't you hit some kind of a huge educational pinnacle here in the last week or two?
Oh, right. That was the other big thing. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. For those of you who follow the show, know that I had gone to OCC at one point of my college career. It was SU and then OCC and all this stuff. Anyway, long story real short. I don't even know if it could be short. They kind of hosed me on 3 credits. And I had 3 credits. I was already set to graduate. I was working professionally in broadcasting and everything. So and I had straight A's in the program. And then it was this little tiny course. And anyway.
Was it physical fitness, Tom?
Part of it was. Okay. So I had to make a choice. I either had to not go to the swimming class because I couldn't get out of the swimming class fast
physical
enough.
Fitness, okay.
So it was physical fitness. Or I had to go to this movie review class. And I said, geez, guys, they're too close together. I can't get to the other side of the
So you went to Doug Brody's class?
I didn't want to mention names,
okay.
But
yeah.
And so anyway, it was like that. And Doug said he locked the door on me. And said, you can't. I don't care that you're in your gym shorts and you're an icicle. You're not going to make it to the class. So anyway, I never got the actual sheet of paper.
Okay. Wow.
So it was terrible. So we had our president of OCC, the new president, and I forgot his name. Look, see, I didn't write it down. You caught me. And he said, "Hey, Tom, we'll take care of you. Let's talk about it." So Ryan Nellenbeck up there has been helping me, and I got experiential credit, and they took my credits from SU. They put it all together, and it was about a 4 or 5 month process. And now they said, "You're in. You're going to be able to graduate with the actual degree." And not only this, I get the new and improved degree. Awesome. It's not just radio television. It's like radio, television, media, supercalifragilistic degree.
Warren Hilton.
Yeah, Warren. Yes. Dr. Warren.
Dr.
Yeah, very good.
Yes.
So I thank all of them up there, and maybe we'll get the presentation right here on the air.
I like that.
That would be kind of fun.
Well, that made a long story short. Yeah. Said no one ever.
But thank you.
Hey, look, there's guests here.
Yes, right. All right. So we've got John Tumino, and he brought a guest today, and it's Eliesha. And John is the co-founder of In My Father's Kitchen. Eliesha, what is it that you do there?
I am a care manager for In My Father's Kitchen and our street outreach team.
Excellent. So you're used to caring for people?
Well, I have 5 children, so it started then.
Good, because we need care for Steve.
So what does a care manager do?
So I navigate services most of the time for people who are unhoused. It's kind of like their compass. So I not only point them in the right direction, but I hold their hand while they're doing it if they need that. Mm-hmm. So just the other day, we brought somebody to get some blood work done, and I went in with him, and I offered my hand. He didn't need it, but I'm able to offer that extra support because a lot of our people who are unhoused don't have that support. So I'm able to do that. And I also kind of coddle my women because I am a woman myself. So.
Sure.
So that helps maybe take some of the fear and the challenge out of it so they follow through because there's someone with them. Is that a fair way to wrap it?
Yeah, I think a lot of our people who are unhoused don't have the support because they've either burned bridges or crossed bridges that other people don't want to be with them through. So I'm able to be that person with no judgment. And I think it's very, very important that we don't judge and we give them a chance to succeed.
I want to get into why it's so important to take care of some of the unhoused females that are out there, especially. And we will get into that. But, I don't want to assume that people know what In My Father's Kitchen is. So, John, if you wouldn't mind giving us the history of how you got
10 seconds. Tom used all the time. Go ahead.
So, first I want to start with, you got Rich Lester coming from Z-Bar. He's one of our trustees on our board.
Oh, there we go.
Wonderful guy.
He's a great guy. So, In My Father's Kitchen, direct street outreach to the chronically homeless of Central New York. So, we're engaging folks that are living in places not meant for human habitation, under the bridge, in the woods, in an abandoned house. We go out with our van that's loaded with gear and food, and now a medical team that's embedded with us, as well as our care manager, Eliesha. And we, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, provide meals and things for individuals, engage them where they're at. And then on the off days is where Eliesha gets to do all the things that she was talking about, where we do follow through, right? Yeah. So those who want to engage us in a deeper capacity to navigate their life in another direction, we assist them by holding their hand through that process. So that's what In My Father's Kitchen does.
Excellent. And you showed us a video the other time you were here of somebody who, they had drug addiction problems, and they got infected. And you showed how your outreach team and a medical doctor had to go and lance something.
Yep. And, so that's a big. Drug use is a big thing that we run into continually, and there's consequences of drug use, especially if you're living outdoors in environments that aren't sterile.
Right.
So the infections are big things that happens, and abscesses are pretty intense watching doc do all that, but the doctor is invaluable to us. Having a medical team embedded with us brings our whole service level up to another notch. So they might not want to engage us, but if you have a hurt arm, a boo-boo, what I mean? So you want to see the doctor, we're able to then continue conversations, starting first with a medical procedure, but then Eliesha or I will start talking to that person about other things, and then they buy into it.
Okay. So when we're seeing all the people that are out there, folks, and you may see them up by Destiny, okay, there's a few people there, a few people on the corners around the bridges of the highways, the on and off ramps and things like that. Are most of those people battling mental illness and drug addiction?
Yeah, so 95% would be drug use. The other 5%, I would say, is mental health, or then they have both happening simultaneously. I'm thinking of a couple of people in that area that you're talking about. One kid, we were just talking about him today, Adam, I'll use his first name, has severe mental health, doesn't use drugs, he's schizophrenic, and he's just out there. And it's his mental health that's causing him to make not good choices. Right. But then the majority of the other folks that we see over there have addiction going on. That's driving them to be homeless or panhandle and those things.
And how does In My Father's Kitchen get them maybe on the right track?
So it's relationships, getting to know them, getting to talk with them, letting them lead conversation. We encourage by inserting thought. And if they buy into it or bite on it, then we kind of go down that road. If they don't want any of that, we just keep visiting you and loving you until the day comes when you're saying, I'm ready. And that happened last week. We had a guy on our work program van. We've been working with him for over a year. And finally he said, I want to go to rehab. And we made a call, and he's in Pennsylvania right now, the long-term.
How exciting is that?
But that, we didn't know that was going to happen. He just came to a crossroads, and we happened to be there when he was ready.
How important is God in the work that you do?
Well, what about you? I mean, so you're new to us, so explain that part of it for you.
Yeah, so I grew up in the church. It was kind of like my mom put me on that bus that came in our neighborhood every Sunday so she could get a break. So I knew God, but I wasn't very close with God. So since I've been within My Father's Kitchen, I can see the miracles. And I'm going to tear up and start crying, so I'm sorry. But I can just see what goes on. John will be in the van, and he'll be like, Eliesha, I really feel like I have to go down this street today. And we'll go, and there'll be somebody that we've been looking for that really, really needs us today or that day. And it's amazing. We're a family, and we pray together, and I think that's really important to have a higher power to guide you.
That is wonderful. In My Father's Kitchen. Thank you so much, Eliesha, for what you do. And you're very, very inspiring. And thank you, John. We really appreciate that. You guys have a great rest of the day, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us on.
Folks, if you want to learn more about what they do, inmyfatherskitchen.org, inmyfatherskitchen.org. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Rich Lester. He's the CEO of Z-Bart. So you stick around right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR and 106.9 FM.